Hello friend, this is my YouTube channel IT Pro. You can watch it for a strongly foundation of information technology and promises you to give you conceptual knowledge in computer. Keep watching for latest videos. Time to time I will come with the latest video in computer. Thank you. Here I am going to discuss about the fourth part of a smartphone, tablets and app chapter. As you all know that the app cannot work without mobile operating system. Tablets having the apps as well as the mobile also having apps. So let's start this fourth part. Web apps. Web apps reside on a remote server and the interfacing web pages can be accessed on the user's mobile device through their website. The website runs in the browser on the mobile while the app runs on the server. Therefore, for every web page request, an active network connection is required. Web apps can be used on multiple platforms and are not installed locally on a device but are available over the internet through a browser. Web apps are usually written in HTML5 and JavaScript. These apps are connected with the remote server with the interface web pages. You will click on the browser, any browser app, Google, Geo browser, UC browser, so many browsers are there. Whenever you are connecting with them, as I said that they are connected with the web server. When you open that, they will ask you to connect with the internet, because without internet connectivity you can't access the web server. And when you connect with the internet, you can access the web server, and due to this feature, these type of apps are called web apps. They will run on the multiple platform, installed locally, but connect with the internet to access the web server. These apps are usually written in HTML5 and JavaScript. These two are the language which is used for create the web pages and web browsers. Some apps are online education app, banking apps, online entertainment, e-commerce. Several apps you are using for it, but they will ask you to connect with the internet because they will connect with the web server, and then after these apps will work. Now I am talking about advantages of native apps. The first advantage of native app is high speed and reliable. Native apps are high speed, means working quickly because they are directly interact with the hardware, and more reliable. Second advantage is the app is available on devices, means that is inbuilt, and normally most of the native apps are occupying less memory space. Third one is it can use hardware platforms. As I said that it is directly accessing the hardware, so that's why the speeds are higher and more reliable, so that's why the native apps are not easily uninstalled because they are inbuilt. Disadvantages of native apps. Here is the first one, that is required good knowledge of kernel platform language, because they are directly using the kernel, means the core of the hardware. So that's why the kernel based programming language were required for developing native apps. Okay. The second disadvantage is it works only on a specific platform, means they can run on the specific hardware as well as the app required. On the basis of that, they can run on the mobile. The third disadvantage is these apps are very expensive because their development requires more knowledge, and if more knowledgeable person will be hired to develop the app, it will require to be paid more. So that's why these apps are expensive. Next one is the advantages of web apps. That is the first advantage of web app. App can run on any platform. It can run on any mobile without any specific requirement. Second advantage is the same programming code is required for any platform, means there is not required any specific kernel based programming language. It cannot directly access the hardware of the mobile. It is a web based, so that's why it can run on any platform. The third advantage is the development cost is low, because that app can be easily developed, so that's why less required to pay the people who will develop the app. So that's why the development cost is low. The disadvantages of web apps are: the first one, the performance depends on hardware requirement, especially the processor and the RAM. It is required to be run it with good speed. Next disadvantage is regular updates are required. Time to time updates comes for these type of apps, and you need to be update to they can run smoothly and properly. Third disadvantage is required good knowledge of kernel programming codes. For specific, specialized and targeted apps for gaming, online gambling apps, it requires kernel programming code. Otherwise, normally it will not required. These are the disadvantages of web apps. Now come to the advantages of hybrid apps. Here come the first advantage of hybrid app. Apps can run on any platform because they can have the feature of native as well as the web apps. Second advantage is the programming code can be reused for any mobile platforms. Means they can work on the kernel based and core based also. So reuse. Third advantage is the development cost and time were less. The development cost, because they can reuse, so that's why the costs were less, as well as the timing will also less. But the disadvantages of these apps are: the first one, the performance depends on hardware requirements, as hardware required for the web app also, and this one also performance where depends on the hardware requirements, specific requirements for these hybrid type of apps. Second disadvantage is slower performance and transition between pages. Means it will not run faster as compared to the native app web app. Native app directly access the hardware acceleration, and web apps depends on the server speed and the hardware. This one will not perform as faster than these apps, and transition between the pages, one page to the next page or one stage to the next stage, that speed were also slow. This is another disadvantage. The third disadvantage is dependency on the browser's speed. This one also where depends on the browser speeds for playing online games. Now, some interesting facts I am going to discuss here. Here is the interesting facts. The first one, the first mobile call was made by, first time, the call made by Martin Cooper of Motorola, a person of Motorola named as Martin Cooper, to Dr. Joel S. Angel of Bell Labs on 3rd April 1973. Yes, there is company talk between Motorola to the Bell Labs from Martin Cooper to the Dr. Joel S. Angel. Second interesting fact is that the first mobile application for a smartphone was developed for IBM Siemens. That is the first application for the mobile developed for IBM Siemens. The next is the first smartphone for general use was announced by IBM in 1993, which included apps for calculator, world clock, calendar and contact book. First smartphone for general uses was given by IBM in 1993 with the app of calculator, world clock, calendar and contact book. Another one is that, interesting things, iPhone was launched by 2007 with inbuilt apps, and about 10 million applications were downloaded during the first weekend. IBM was launched in 2007 with their own inbuilt apps, and within a week 10 million applications were downloaded by the users of iPhone. Another interesting fact is Google Play for Android devices was launched on 6th March 2012. Google Play Store were launched for Android devices on 6th March 2012. That's it. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Thanks for watching my videos. And if you will like this video, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. Thank you.